Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Meshif, aka Talk to Meshif, along with.
Hi, I'm Axion, and we have another user-submitted replay. This one was submitted by Proxy. He is going to be the Blue Zerg, and he is up against BriarBonin, or BriarBonin, the Red Protoss, and it's pretty good. It's nice to see some Protoss in here. I think this is only our first or second replay with a Protoss, so if you guys have replays playing as Protoss, so I've said that about Protoss 5 or 6 times in the last 60 seconds, please send them in, and we would love to cast them. And we're on Shakuras Plateau. What do you think about this map, Mission?
Well, it's a very confrontational map. You see, you have these two chokes into your main base with these destructible rocks right here, and then you've kind of got this pretty wide open battle area right here in the middle of the map between the two watchtowers, where you've got you've got a lot of cover. You can get the towers, so you can get your vision. There's a little bit of high ground that you can use to get your back up to in certain situations, but there's kind of that big area in the middle, and a lot of these bases, the minerals are kind of kind of mirrors of each other right across the way. So these two bases right here in the top middle kind of are hard to hold on to and easily contested.
Yep, and it looks like Proxy has gone for an earlier finder. He's going to put that around 11, but he has no guys in it yet. And interestingly, BriarBonin has put a pylon here by his choke near the natural, so he may be trying to secure that for an early expansion. And if he could get that in, his economy could definitely skyrocket. I mean, 2 base Zerg against 2 base Protoss. Zerg's going to have a tough time dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. When you look at the width here, this choke is not much bigger than the other, the choke into the main. So not a bad idea to try to wall that off and secure your natural early.
Yeah, throwing down 2 gateways there from BriarBonin. And it looks like Proxy is finally getting some guys in gas. He had the gas up for quite a while, but no guys in there. So, I mean, I'd like to see that go up a little bit later if that's what you're going to do. You can really save those minerals, another drone or two. Spawning pool's about halfway done, as are the gateways. So, possibly some early 2-gate aggression.
Yeah, and we see BriarBonin chrono boosting out those probes. So he has saved us some of his energy to get those probes up. As he is going to need the resources, as he has put down 3 pylons, which is a little bit interesting. I guess he's trying to create that this nice little pathway right through here where he can put I believe it's going to be close. It looks like it actually might be too wide, but the idea is that you just put one zealot there, put him on hold position, and he'll be able to block the Zergling run by.
Yeah, and it looks like if we take a look at Proxy's base, he has a Roach Warren going down, and no ling speed yet at 140 gas. So I wonder if he's going to go for an early lair.
Definitely a possibility. He is getting the queen out right now. That's just about done.
And it looks like ling speed did just... I could be proven wrong. Maybe some early speedling roach play.
Yeah, we'll see as he does get that metabolic boost. The Roach Warren just finishing, so I guess we'll have to see what he decides to pump out first. And we do see the layer coming out for him.
Okay, I'm really curious where it's going to go with this. That down goes the second gas. I was just going to say, if he's trying to tech towards Mutas, he's really going to need more gas than that. I'd like to see him put this metabolic boost that he's researching to use. Get out some Zerglings, maybe do some scouting. I know his Overlord passed over the main of BriarBonin, but I'm not sure he's aware of the natural.
Yeah, and actually, if we look at the units right now, BriarBonin has 4 zealots out already, and Proxy has no real defense yet. He has no Zerglings. He just has that 1 queen, and he does have roaches, or I believe 1 roach on the way now. So we'll see what or 2 roaches, excuse me. So BriarBonin could have taken a little bit of the lead early on if he decided to push out those zealots, but Proxy would have had a hard time dealing with that.
Yeah, it looks like Proxy just threw down his expansion at the natural a little while ago. It's about halfway done. And he's getting glial reconstitution for those roaches, so he'll be a little bit faster when he gets those out as he starts to break down these destructible rocks by his back door. So eventually we're just going to push through, try to loop around and get into the back of BriarBonin's base.
Yeah, we see double assimilators finally up now for BriarBonin. I think he was pretty late on his first one. I think it was around 27 supply. So he is putting 3 probes on each of those gases now to start his gas production. So as we do see 2 sentries coming out, and he finally does throw down his second Nexus.
And he started Warp Gate not too long ago. That'll be critical when it's done, get those units out quickly. And I really like what he's doing, sending in this one zealot just to kind of see what's going on. He sees the natural, sees there's nothing to defend it, take a few hacks at it, and he's not going to kill it, so he just backs right up. And I just like to pull into the main base so he can scout and see what kind of tech he's got. I mean, he knows he has roaches now, 2 queens up there, and I think it's fair to assume that at this point of the game, we've seen that many roaches that early. He's going to have a good idea of what unit composition Proxy is going.
Yeah, and no, I agree. I do like that scouting with the zealot, but when you actually think about it, maybe sending a probe in there would have been a little bit smarter, just because that the unit was most likely going to die. The zealot wasn't planning to be a baller zealot, as Husky might say, and get 10 drone kills or anything like that. So sending a probe in might have been a little more cost-effective way to scout and get the information that he needed, especially because the probes would be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and it looks like right now Proxy is a little bit high on gas. He's got 500, which he's not really putting too much use, as well as 6 larvae down there at the expansion that he's not making anything out of right now. I'd like to see those go to use.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mesher.
Well, if we look at the income tab, actually, we see that BriarBonin is fairly decently ahead. He's got 28 harvesters to the 22 of Proxy. So, as a Zerg player, you never want to be that far behind in terms of harvesters, especially when you're on even footing in terms of expansions.
Definitely. I do like the spine crawler that Proxy is throwing down by his natural. It's always good to kind of hold off some early aggression, as it looks like BriarBonin is pushing out for a major push near this Proxy pylon.
Yep, he does have a few stalkers and a few zealots in there. He's getting those sentries, which can be used to put down the force fields and block off the roaches, kind of get some of them separated or isolate them so they can be easily picked off by the stalkers.
And if we look, his roaches are horribly out of position down there by BriarBonin's back rocks, as they're about to move in the attack of his natural. I think the natural is going to go down. I'm not sure what he can do about this.
Yeah, I mean, he really only has that one spine crawler and the queen, so definitely going to be a pretty hard battle to keep that hatchery alive.
Yeah, I would have liked to see those zealots sent in front of the stalkers to kind of, even though there wasn't a lot there, just kind of soak up the damage. And if he can force field the ramp knight right now and prevent a lot of these roaches from getting down, but they're already there, and it looks like reinforcing with 3 more roaches coming out from the larva left of the natural, he should be able to clean this up just fine.
Yeah, and you should note that 3 of these stalkers are actually focus firing down the eggs here, so it was a little bit of getting caught out of position. As you said, force fielding the ramp would have really helped them get better position when those roaches finally did come down there. But the roach is able to clean it up pretty easily.
Yeah, and it looks like burrow and tunneling claws are complete. So when he's done fending off this attack, he may go back to those backdoor rocks, break him down, and try to secretly burrow under the main.
Yeah, it does look like that is exactly where he's heading, as BriarBonin is getting 2 assimilators on his expansion, and so he's trying to...
2 robo. He's also throwing out 2 robo, so probably going to pump out some immortal to counter those roaches. I just don't know if he'll have them in time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. These rocks are going down, and if we look at the units tab, he really only has 5 stalkers and 3 sentries to the 18 roaches for Proxy. So it's not looking too good right now, especially as these robo facilities are going up. That probe's just chilling there. Probably should get back to work. And his forces do see that the roaches are in his base, and they're going to move back, but it looks like the roaches are going to be able to take this down.
Yeah, I think this may be GG momentarily. He's got Warp Gate cooldown right now. He's only got 1 more round of units I think he'll be able to send out before they get down there to these gateways and possibly take out the pylon.
We just see him now trying to get those immortals out, but that's going to be pretty futile. Do note that he does have over 1,000 minerals, so definitely could have thought about getting some, after his initial push failed, he should have got some more zealots or beefed up his army just a little bit, just in case, as Proxy presumably was going to counter push. So, he's got way too many resources right now. Should have gotten a slightly bigger army, defensive army after he lost his first initial push.
Yeah, I agree, and it looks like there it is. There's the GG. I would have liked to see Proxy re-expand during that attack. He definitely had the resources to. I would say his macro was pretty good all the game. When he pushed out, he had around 200, I think, which is pretty good. But I mean, normally at these levels, I'm the victim of this too. I'll go out to attack, and I'll just kind of it just falls apart because I'm focusing on the attack. But he did defend that push well with those roaches, even though he was caught out of position, and it was a really good counter push. What do you think BriarBonin could have done better to help prevent this counter push from just taking out his whole base?
Oh, for one, you know, maybe paying better attention to the backdoor rocks. You know, he knew they were there, and I don't think he initially realized it when they started to take damage. And you know, he was a little late getting his forces up here. Although I guess that did not really matter, considering that the roaches were going to crush his small Protoss army anyways. So getting out though the robo facilities earlier, as soon as he came in here, he had the little skirmish down here, was able to take out the expansion. But then the roaches came down the ramp. You know, he should have gone back as soon as that battle was you know, over. He should have gone right back to his base and started the robotics facilities very quickly, as well as taking advantage of the resources he did have. He knew that the counterattack was probably going to be coming soon. You know, 2,000 minerals right now at the end of the game. You know, crank out a bunch of zealots. You've got, I think he had all 4 warp gates at the time. You know, crank out zealots pretty much every cycle of the warp gate that you can. So you at least have a decent ground army to, you know, defend, and maybe that would have given him the time he needed to let these immortals finish, and you know, immortals really would have countered the roaches pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's only got 3 gates. I think he said 4 gate by accident. But, I mean, I'd like to even go a little further. I'd like to say after his first push with that zealot, when he saw, I think, 4 or 5 roaches, I'm pretty sure at that point he had 2 gate, and I would have liked to see him go 2 gate robo and maybe get 1 or 2 immortals out to complement his then second bigger push, which took out the natural.
Yeah, I concur wholeheartedly with you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. Any other thoughts, Axion?
That's about it. Send us some Protoss replays, please, if you want to see them. And really just, we're thankful for all the replays and all the support we've gotten so far, so keep them coming.
Yep, exactly as he said. Send us your replays, getbetterstarcraft@gmail.com. You know, tell us what you guys think of these videos. You know, leave us some comments, give us the thumbs up or the thumbs down. You know, tell us what we can do better. We know that the audio quality still isn't great, especially on Axion's microphone.
I'm working on getting a better mic.
We're doing our best. In fact, actually, he's not using any mic right now besides, you know, the built-in computer one. So we are definitely working on getting those upgrades, and you know, we want to bring you guys quality replays. We hope you like the video quality. Tell us if you guys find any problems or any things you guys are having problems with, or you know, think we could be doing better. Definitely let us know. And we hope you enjoy, and we'll see you guys next time.